We'd like to give a special shout out to the following people for making this episode and the rest of Act 3 possible: Louis, Malaya, Reg, Daniel Athern, Osterkim, Vanna, Finch, Dr. Dan Venning, Sleepless Berry, Court, Rogue Canoe, John and Muna, Sadie, Zay the Great, Elliot Kane, and Trident. Thank you for your support. Maraming salamat.
You're listening to Hainai by Motsi Dapple. Episode 71. Kalaban.
I've been trying to match the descriptions Mari's given me of elders she's run into or learned about from Jay's notes. The Book of Elders is incredibly extensive. It's amazing how much Jay figured out back in the day. More than that, it's scary how many elders there are in this book. Obviously, I don't know who's alive or dead, though I try to keep updated with Mari and the detectives. I've gone ahead and added my own little annotations, little bookmarks, these mini sticky note tabs I got from Dollarama. I had to Xerox the whole thing at the library, after I checked with Mari that it was safe to do that with a, magic book about evil immortal magicians. Detective Donner was there when I asked, and he was like, "So it's not the Necronomicon?" And Mari looked so confused. He had to explain to her what a Necronomicon even was, and it's kind of funny to think about how much Mari knows about the real thing, but isn't really aware of all the fiction around it. I know the detective's a nice guy, even with his resting anger face. I didn't realize that he was low-key a horror nerd until he started asking Mari about Lovecraft and Romero. Said they'd watch some movies when they had a spare hour, which was cute. They're cute. I'm happy for them. I mean, that's irrelevant for this report. Let me get started. Mari asked me about this one elder, looking a bit younger, though that's a few of them, and carrying a knife. Eyes like stars. He doesn't show up in the book, which means that he was probably after Jay's time. Hopefully there wasn't a trend of new elders after Jay disappeared, otherwise we'd be in deep trouble. There's already so many of them. I've started my own entry on him. Tried to sketch what he looks like based on Mari's description. I did my best. Salai. Eyes like stars. Holds a knife. Walks through dreams. Sounds like a few cases I've been cross-referencing from the files Detective Donner shared with me. Legally, of course. At least, he said it's legal. I can't be held liable if a cop tells me something's legal, right? There's also this call into DJ's show, which is an amazing reference for elder and focus encounters. This caller, Jamila, seems like her grandpa was killed by this Salai, or at least died because of him. There was obviously more to it, but I didn't realize what was going on until I found out Jamila's last name was Thompson. Like Clarence Thompson. Now that elder is definitely in the book. He has a bit of a special entry, mainly because of how he died, but also what he did right before he died. Apparently, he tortured and killed some people in his basement to extract the best fear out of them. He was a particularly brutal elder who met a particularly brutal end. We know about elders who've gone to war and killed each other, but I don't know how many of them went after their families, their descendants. I don't think this Salah is a good guy, but I guess I don't know his reasons. It seems like Thompson was exceptionally evil himself, so it could have been some twisted sense of justice. Or maybe just the usual elder civil war, bleeding into bloodlines. The book doesn't say who killed Clarence Thompson, but Mari told me who did it. First, it was this guy named Manfred Darche, who killed him temporarily while he helped Thompson's victims escape. An elder with a conscience. Thompson didn't stay down for long, but when the benefactor came to confront him, he was already dead, flayed and crucified. The long winter killed him. At least, that's what the elders believe. Something happened to his magic. Something like the universe punishing him. Something like karma. Mari told me that Thompson was doing this so he can gather enough power to use against the benefactor with a true name spell. That was what made him hide his face and name in the first place. They were gone by the time Jay wrote his entry into the book, but apparently he figured it out somehow, right before he fled Toronto. I wonder if I'll be able to write it down someday. Mari wouldn't tell me if they made any progress on that. I wonder if she's trying to protect me, or if she really doesn't know, because she's been treating me with kid gloves since the Clifford Bolden incident, and I really don't appreciate it. I shouldn't have told her about my promise to Elaine. Now she acts like if she isn't checking in on me every 5 seconds, I'll be cutting my soul up for fun. I guess she's still letting me work with the book, so... Okay. Here's a few of the elders Mari met at the meeting that might be a problem down the line. Martin Knowles. Hazel eyes and hair. An apprentice who became a full elder before he was prepared. And his master, Richard Weinman, unearthed a couple of artifacts that, from Martin's description, sucked him in and spat out the gristle, and took the skin and muscle off Martin's hands when his master grabbed him. The young Martin, as they called him, took Weinman's place and his power, and worked closely with Vincent LaBelle on finding artifacts for elder research and use. There wasn't much about young Martin in his entry, apparently because he was a later addition, and Jay's source wasn't quite as updated on elder affairs as much as he tried to keep close watch on their dealings. Apparently. Ugh. He and Vincent LaBelle decided to keep Richard Weinman's remains in storage for study. From Mari's read on him, he seemed to be a bit shy and quiet, and that seemed to align with Vanessa's description of him being a scholar of little ambition, but infinite curiosity. Neither of them had any real idea how dangerous he really was, especially with the artifacts he had access to. Vincent LaBelle. He's got a lot more background, more than most elders. Not just from the book, but from a few encounters he's had over the years, including one of Detective Donner's relatives. Pale. Eye color... irrelevant now. He was apparently an importer back in the day, who worked with exotic artifacts. He was more of a businessman than a scholar or anthropologist, but he worked with enough of them to ensure his products were authentic. And they were. Authentic enough that the wooden stakes Henry Wallace Donner jammed in his eyes took away his sight and prevented his elder healing from recovering it. According to Mari, he's easily identifiable by his round glasses. Dresses well, too. Always smiling, according to H.W.'s description of him. Definitely one to look out for. Oh, and, like I mentioned earlier, Manfred Darche is another elder of interest. Mari apparently met him at the meeting, and comparing her description and the description in the book, well, Manfred Darche. Dark hair. Plump, cheerful, with a recognizable beard and mustache one would describe as friendly mutton chops. Social man. Open-minded and kind. Not the sharpest elder, but not quite a fool, and well-connected in his day. Not a bloodthirsty bone in his body, at least from what I can tell from the rest of his entry. This was the man that killed Clarence Thompson, bare-handed with a lamp. An old friend of his. The man Mary met, he wasn't well. Looked like he hadn't slept in days, his eyes sunken, his skin pallid. He looked paranoid, his hair disheveled. He had all these markings carved into his hands, marks that never healed. Vincent LaBelle told Mari that Manfred thought his apprentice meant to kill him. I don't know who his apprentice is. They're not listed here. So maybe. What are the chances that it's that Salai guy? Seems like he came late to the party. By elder standards, though, who knows if there are others like him who were onboarded after Jay finished his book. Mari said Salai was trying to protect someone. Was that a lie? Or was Vincent LaBelle wrong about Manfred and his apprentice? Or was he lying too? Not that he'd have a reason to lie to Vanessa. And Mari was wearing her face at the time, so... elders lie to each other all the time. And kill each other all the time. It's interesting seeing all the mismatched pieces of their opinions of each other. One thing a bunch of them might agree on, however, that's what we're all worried about right now. They're apparently planning to attack Mari sometime soon, or act against her in some way. She told me I needed to stay far away from her and the others for now. I tried to argue, but she said I could keep the book for now. She said it could protect me, since the bookmark is a good focus, and maybe it could hide me from them if they came for her or those close to her. She also said she didn't want my work to go to waste, which was nice of her, I guess. I don't know. I'm frustrated. I can't do more, but I know she's just trying to protect me. And I know this is the best way I can help right now. Other elders she's run into are Minerva Campbell, also known as the Cannibal, Patience Glass, only known as the Accountant, Claudia Saproites, the Vampire. Minerva is an interesting case, unassuming, other than the fact that she always wears red. Despite literally eating human flesh, she and the benefactor are on good terms. I don't quite understand why, but according to the book, her specialty isn't even cannibalism. Not even the fact that she can apparently unhinge her jaw and swallow a human leg whole. It's just another skill that she honed to make the process easier. One of the spells she developed herself is called blood scenting. She could tell when someone was a killer, when they had blood on their hands that were not their own. At first, she couldn't differentiate between hunters of animals and hunters of people, but she stalked her prey for a long time, just to make sure. Followed them, watched them. She starved herself when she did this. It brought her euphoria, an elation unmatched by any other endeavor she put her mind to. The hospital is one of her most common hunting grounds. She'd either find her prey there or follow them there after she spent enough time learning about them. It's a twisted form of justice, though that's not what she does it for. It's all about the thrill for her. But she doesn't step out of line, not like the others. She's grateful for what she's allowed to do. At least, that's how it seemed back when Jay wrote her entry. Claudia Saportes is a different story. She became a vampire much later down the line, and a self-styled hunter tried to kill her by stabbing her through the heart and burying her. She hunted him down, drank his blood in revenge for what he did to her. She'd never done that before, never showed an affinity for blood before then. It was an awakening for her, it seems. When she was an elder, under a different name back in the day, she was sometimes called a vamp. Not for any vampirism, just because she was a notorious flirt. It was just a funny coincidence. She was slick, sharp, and an excellent salesperson, and while it was her family name that brought her into the fold, she was a good fit for the elders, who she didn't take seriously at all until the night so far proved his thesis. She's as ambitious as they come, but she seemingly toed the line so far if she's still the benefactor's ally. Still, a cutthroat like her, both in the literal and figurative sense, might be one to watch out for. As for the blood, she might just be buying it. I don't know. I haven't heard about vampire attacks in the city lately. As for Patience Glass, she's apparently never been interested in schemes. Never ambitious, never overreaching, just a valuable asset for those with money, with a mind for maths and bookkeeping. An ordinary woman, by all accounts. Never developed her own spells, never took part in the grander plan. She just handled the money, used whatever spells Richard Henry or the rest created to keep a better handle on her resources. The fact that she doesn't even live in Toronto anymore. She might not be a threat, but still, someone to keep track of. She's also survived a lot of her contemporaries, so maybe she's got the right attitude. Staying out of the way, keeping quiet, knowing her strengths, contributing the best she can. No, Evelyn, you're not relating to an evil immortal elder. Especially because you don't even know how to sit back and just let things happen. That's not you. But you're also not stupid, so you won't go behind Mari's back and try to get more involved than you're already getting. Especially since if they attack Mari, they'll probably go for her friends first. This recording's getting a little long. Next one. I'll be reading the entries in detail. This one's just to list down elders to look out for, starting with those Mari's already encountered. Vernon Greenwood was one more person Mari mentioned, encountering at the meeting. Though they didn't speak directly, he seemed skeptical of the benefactor's ability to protect them from emerging threats against the elders, and may well be one of the elders planning to move against those threats. Greenwood, auburn hair with severe eyes, is a confrontational man with the stubbornness of a bull, at least according to the book. Seems to align with Mari's description of him. His loyalty lay with strength, and any sign of weakness was enough for him to speak his mind, if not rebel in some way. It was a miracle he lasted so long under the benefactor, though apparently he didn't look down on the man the way Clarence Thompson did. Looked up to him, even after Hyde. He was stolid and loyal when he was content, but easy to lose when he felt instability in leadership. Vernon Greenwood was one more person Mari mentioned encountering at the meeting, though they didn't speak directly. He seemed skeptical of the benefactor's ability to protect them from emerging threats against the elders. He may well be one of the elders planning to move against those threats. Greenwood, auburn hair with severe eyes, is a confrontational man with the stubbornness of a bull, at least according to the book. Seems to align with Mari's description of him. His loyalty lay with strength, and any sign of weakness was enough for him to speak his mind, if not rebel in some way. It was a miracle he lasted so long under the benefactor, though apparently he didn't look down on the man in the way Clarence Thompson did. Looked up to him even after Hyde. He was stolid and loyal when he was content, but easy to lose when he felt instability in leadership. He might be the biggest threat we know about right now, given what happened at the meeting, and the fact that Richard Henry's off the board. Not only does his personality point to an attack in Mari's direction, his spells are also so very violent. I've got him at the top of the list. I know Mari's powerful, but is she powerful enough to hold off every dangerous elder coming her way? And if she is, why do I feel like that's not a good thing?
You're listening to Hainai by Motsi Dapul.
Hey everyone, it's Motsi, creator and showrunner of the Hainai podcast. Hainai is a podcast produced by Motsi Dapul, Yoy Halago, and Alyssa Jimenez, and licensed under Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share-alike 4.0 International License. This episode was co-produced by Jesse Goodsell and written and directed by Motsi Dapul.
The role of Evelyn Wai is played by Natalie.
Special thanks to Edward McKee for assisting in the writing process. If you'd like to chat with other listeners when this episode goes live, we do a live premiere every Sunday at 9 p.m. ET or Toronto time on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/HainaiPod. To help support the production of Hainai, you can subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/HainaiPod. You'll get to be part of our early access program, where we release episodes 3 days early on Thursday at 9 p.m. ET or Toronto time. You can also get bonus video, audio, art, and much more. Speaking of Patreon, we'd love to give a special shout-out to the following patrons for all their amazing support. Nikki Green, Sai B.A., Emily C., Lauren Morton, Prinks Variety, Dee Chanak, Johnny Demented, Chandra, Adge W., Tony Baloney, Nay, Boyo, Phoenix Luna, Kate Jordan, Tiana Harvey, Dracukard, Sabine, Ben, DC Squirrel, Jess Snow, Talon, Nonette Dapul, Tanisha Wesley, Mika, Matthew Upton, Anna, Sooks, Becca Terrier, Amelia Brownstein, Diana Cause, Melissa, Emma H., Faye Fungi, Pablo Neurotic, Astra Kim, Evie Smith, Megan, Jesse Goodsell, Malaya Light, and Victoria Goodwin. Thank you for all your support. If you subscribe at the ATET tier or the $10 tier and above, you get bonus episodes, bonus content, the full B-sides, and you get your name shouted out on every episode in the credits, just like our wonderful supporters here. If you can't subscribe monthly, you have the option to buy us a milk tea on Ko-fi. That's ko-fi.com/HainaiPod. Our ad-free Hainai album, which has our official music and full episodes from Act 1 and 2, is also available for both patrons and to purchase on our coffee shop. Check out our website, hainaipod.com, for more info, and follow us on all our socials, on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky, and even our YouTube posts, at HainaiPod, for updates and more information, especially when we have special events. And as always, thank you, we love you, and hanggang sa muli.